and Morgan, as well as John Henry Doc Holliday, to help him maintain order. When Cowboys Billy
Sir, I wish there was a way that this would read the fact that this has a front-facing flash on the camera so that it can actually do things that it's supposed to do.
Albeit with varying degrees of success. Finally, in 1874, Dodge City banned weapons for anyone other than law enforcement officers.
So, yeah, if it looks really dark, there's nothing I can do about that. That's just how it goes right now. That's just... There's nothing I can do about the light in here. Like, I got... What the hell?
While sheriffs served entire counties, they didn't have the final say when it came
So,
to law.
yeah, I got this thing, but if I put it over the camera, over the phone, I can't see the phone because the light is, like, right in my way. And if I put it off to the side there, or... Of course. Yeah, if I clip it up on these, silk flowers up behind the phone, like, this is the best light it's gonna give. I can't fix this. There's nothing I can do about this. Oh god, that's even worse. Oh, seriously, this is what we do. That's helpful. But, you know, when YouTube gets around to recognizing the fact that I have 1,000 subscribers again, and I have absolutely zero channel restrictions of any sort. You know, the YouTube mobile app can tell that I have a front-facing light on the phone, and it can stream that way with the light on there, and it looks fine, it looks good, it's decent light. That's what every stream from, you know, before all this crap started with YouTube not recognizing that I have 1,000 subscribers and telling me that I don't have 1,000 subscribers. Okay. There we go.
Sheriff Logan lost his life while fighting an ill-tempered professional gambler.
Okay, there we go. So, of course we can't really, like, see these as they are, like with the shit camera here that I've got. Ooh, what's on here? Do I have to... Oh, I think that's just splatter from cat food. Okay. So, these are just feathers that I found around. This one is from a pheasant. Obviously, it's...
When the most dangerous men were in the act of committing their misdeeds, instead of girding himself with weapons for a street parade and doing what some sheriffs do to attract attention, Tom Logan was one of the quietest men in the whole camp, and always did his duty quietly.
And I think this one, fell off one of the, local hawk varieties that I've seen around. Not too often, but I think it is from a, Midwest, some kind of Midwestern hawk. You see them on occasion, like, staking out rabbits or something by the freeway. And this, I'm pretty sure, is... I don't know. I thought it was off of a, At first I thought it was just, like, some kind of fancy pigeon feather, but now I'm not so sure. Now I think it's off of something else. And I see I've got one person here, and
While Sheriff David
I
Updike in Ada
am...
County, Idaho, is believed to have been so unlawful
So
that
what's
he extorted
this?
and stole thousands of dollars, including several bars of gold. Dave Updike was born in New York but moved to Boise, Idaho in 1864.
Okay.
He was elected the first sheriff of Ada
Hopefully
County that
this
same year. Soon, however, Updike had organized a
will,
movement that was accused of a series of robberies and slayings. At the Port Neuf Canyon stagecoach robbery of 1865,
be it. So I've got
it was becoming
I've
clear
got
that
abilities
Updike
to
was
see the chat.
involved
So
in
let's see. As
criminals with weapons for the crime that
is usual. Ugh.
$75,000 of gold going missing. Updike was later indicted for embezzlement.
So
And resigned his position as sheriff. He was executed by vigilante.
if I seem a bit snippy for a bit, that's this got covered in cat food too. Okay. That'll learn me. Oh wait. No, that wasn't cat food. That was henna I didn't wash out last time. That's a much different scent than the cat food. Okay. So ugh. Okay, I might need a new brush very soon. As long as I don't clean out the fridge and throw it in there, that's gonna be fine. I am in horrible need of tidying up in here, but it looks a lot better than some of the places I've seen that are in glorious need of tidying. So.
And these audiobooks were kind of a big deal back then. This was sort of at the very beginning of the whole home video thing. So this was kind of the only way for a kid to experience the movie. Now, Star Wars was, of course,
Seriously.
and it was one of the biggest blockbuster films of all time. So Disney said, we need to have our own Star Wars. So they made a movie called Those Who Have Two Thumbs and the Real One Close to the Black Hole.
Or I could just use the one that it's all wrapped up with. Okay. And save that for next time I'm making cookies. Alright, so... Ew. Well, the cocoa fats have definitely bloomed in this. Ah, lovely. So... Oh, yeah, that's fine. This is just bloomed. Yeah. Okay, so they do indeed mix the henna with some straight up pure cocoa butter, because there we see. So if you ever have chocolate that's been sitting around for a while, you'll notice that, you know, it'll get this grayish cast to it. It's just cocoa butter when that happens. So it's like the solids in it's the fatty solids in chocolate. Like, so when it gets, because this is what happens to chocolate, right? So it's just cocoa butter when that happens. Now, the reason that so much American chocolate, and I was gonna grate this onto this. So the reason so much American chocolate has soy in it is because they use soy lecithin, which is it's the protein that is directly associated with the soy allergy. And they use that as an emulsifier to keep the fats from blooming out. So basically, it's only there for cosmetic purposes, really. Like when the fats bloom in your cocoa, it doesn't affect the taste in any way. It's still perfectly good, you know, edible chocolate. I mean, you know, at some point, you know, because it is... hello! Oh, I miss Ritz crackers. I don't think I can have them. I've not been the biggest fan of crackers anyway. So, but yeah, the cocoa butter is blooming out of my henna. So, yeah, it's cosmetic. That's the only reason that most American chocolate companies will use soy lecithin as an emulsifier. It's to keep the fats in the chocolate from blooming like this, you know, and getting that kind of grayish cast to it. But yeah, like I said, so yeah, here's another, like, really gray, like, fatty spot, so just, you know, rub my finger on it, the fats melt. Ooh, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, right, I need to put the top half on the double boiler. Woohoo! So, double boiler, I use this when I am melting and mixing my henna from Lush, because I get the solid blocks from Lush. I've actually been looking up how to mix my own indigo henna. I have been considering using just straight indigo for the darkest shade possible. So I've been looking up like how to mix it in, you know, from powder, because that will end up being a lot cheaper. Oh, and some just fell onto the burner. So yeah, it would be a lot cheaper if I mixed it myself, but at the same time, it's like the blocks from Lush, you know, they've also got cocoa butter in them, and, you know, some other, you know, herbals which are nice for your hair, so, and that was my biggest concern with switching from your developer-based dyes to a henna, is because I wanted to improve the condition of my hair. So I think I might get one more block from Lush, which apparently is going to be next month. But I'm also thinking, just to stretch the life of the block next month when I get it, I'm also going to, like, get myself a jar of indigo powder, and, you know, like, because I've been doing, two blocks off of the full brick every month, so I'm thinking I might do, 1.5, or maybe even just 1 brick of, the Lush, henna block, the full-size henna bar. So I'm thinking I might, do 1 to 1.5 of the Lush bars, and then, you know, gradually add some indigo to, darken it a bit more. I think I can go darker. It is nice dark, but it's not quite as dark as I would like it. Can always go darker. Okay. So, I'm going to try swiveling this thing around so that we can watch me, and okay, that's just the top to the thing, and the thing over there, and I can turn that heat down some, and where'd my brush go? There it is. Okay. And, will this be, let's see, okay. No. 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 Maybe? No. No. Not really. I hate this. That is definitely not helpful. Ooh, this needs a little bit more. Okay. That's a little bit better. So, this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. I found a bottle of conditioner, just like half empty, in the middle of the road. Obviously, somebody was presumably moving out, or else it wouldn't have been half empty. Or I guess half full. Was I feeling half full that day? I don't know. But yeah, like, I found it, and I'm like, you know, it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to use that. But it's been sitting there ever since I found it, which has been a few weeks now, so I should probably take that into the shower with me tomorrow after I wash this out first thing in the morning. Whatever. I know they recommend just like adding a little bit and then a little bit of water until you get it just about right. But I'm like, you know, this is like my this is like my 8th time doing this or something. Well, maybe not 8th, but yeah, like this is not the first time I've done this. So, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna want to turn that heat down a bit more. I wish there were more people watching this stream, but I keep ungodly hours for my part of the Midwest.
Interpretation of antimatter is that it's basically matter reversed in time. It's regular matter traveling backwards in time. And so, if that interpretation holds true, then that means that the Big Bang you actually create two universes, one traveling forward in time that we're looking at, and one traveling backward in time made of antimatter. Now, you normally see that illustrated like this, so you can visualize that arrow of time. Of course, the two Big Bangs wouldn't physically in 3D space blast away from each other like that. They would travel out in all directions, which means this mirror universe would be standing.
So I thought I was going to be clever last time I did this, and I thought to, like, just, save down the solids, but I saved it out of the fridge, and I put a cover on it, and it grew fuzz. So now I know that for this time. Because I don't end up using the whole thing every time I mix some, which is another reason that I'm thinking, okay, I might want to, like, you know, adjust the formula, because, like, if I get a, if I can get away with only using, like, one square of the big block from Lush, which is 6 squares, right? You know, like a chocolate bar, because it's like cocoa butter. It's like half cocoa butter, looking at how enthusiastic that bloom of the fats was. So yeah, it, so yeah, I was thinking, so if I can get away with using only one square, and then, mixing, like, I don't know, I've got a kitchen scale in here now, so I was thinking, like, maybe about half an ounce or something of indigo to, you know, fill out the formula. Like, not only would it be a little bit darker, but it would also end up saving me a little bit of money. Because one of those big blocks, one of those, like, you know, the big full-size blocks, that is, what did it cost? $28, before tax, I believe. At least here in Michigan. So, that is definitely a, thing that I do not need to do every month, was get one of those. And I figured that out already, that I definitely do not need to get one of these every month. And where the hell did my clips go? I put them all in the bathroom, didn't I? Yes, I did. I will be right back. Cat, I swear you're trying to kill me.
The summer of 2019 was pretty lackluster, and as far as drama, I gotta say I'm a little disappointed. Every year we either saw weird subtweets, random breakups, party fouls, or some random drama between TikTokers. But this year especially, many
Okay,
focused
so...
on slow decline.
I hope Felicia Free is, still here watching my stream. That would be nice for me.
For different reasons than they were in the first place. But we'll get more into that later.
I'm sure the lighting on your end is terrible. But, we've got some, oh, yay. Yeah, we've got some, pineapple passion fruit soda from Kroger. Big K!
We're gonna talk about some of the
This help? No, this does not help the light situation. This maybe? Wow, wait, no. Okay.
or her dazzling posts for Granny Melville, but yes, she does find the time to do
Okay.
YouTube full time. And as you can tell by my voice, I'm very excited to talk about this topic. Summer McKee wasn't actually someone I completely paid too much attention to. Typically, when you think of the relatable girls,
I have
Summer was never
no idea how the light is.
But for those of you who
Because
don't know much about Summer
this app
on her channel, she's a
does not seem to recognize that my phone has a front-facing flash, so
But before she was as well known as she is now, she was just an average teenager who used to mainly make videos about makeup, challenges, DIYs, vlogs, and hauls. So like many at the time, she was kind of all over the place, and as far as her channel went, she was pretty average. That is until one of her first viral videos was the Get Ready With Me prom 2015 video, which started her career ultimately. And as you can see, the video was really normal. It just felt like those videos YouTubers would have made back in the day. This was also around the time when she was starting to get a lot of recognition for her looks and resembling other celebrities, especially Cara Delevingne. But throughout the years of 2015 and 2016, it was more apparent that there was a specific thing that people were paying attention to much, much more. It seemed like Summer has had an audience that has kind of envied her since the beginning. Her most popular videos alone have to do with her face, her hair, and her overall lifestyle since the beginning. 2017 and 2018 probably were the best years as far as YouTube goes for Summer. This was when the relatable trend was kind of taking off, was at an all-time high, and almost everyone in the world of Emma Chamberlain used that.
I kind of want to start singing something, but I've got like 3 different songs going on in my head right now, and I don't know which one to do. Like, this is your life on ADHD.
And she had just moved to Los Angeles. It seemed like everything was all set for her. Throughout this time, though anyone could see that Summer posted on social media and updated pretty often, I can't really say what she was completely known for on her own. Whenever I came across Summer, she was always involved with another group of girls that were just as popular as her, if not more. And she just kind of hung out with them the entire time. And more people were starting to see this as well. As far as
The
Summer's
funny thing
recent
is,
videos, I can't really
this
tell
is
you
the
what
clearest
it
I've
is
ever seen
of
it.
her. Her recent videos
That's awful. That is...
Throughout this, I took the exact same right.
So I imagine you haven't seen when, you know, YouTube was still letting me stream from the app, because that is when it was best. That is literally when it was best. But, you know, for some reason YouTube has decided that even though I have just barely, but over 1,000 subscribers, and absolutely zero, streaming restrictions, they've decided that I still don't meet the qualifications to stream from my phone, which is just maddening because, like, their app is literally the best way I've been able to stream from my phone, like, ever. And right now, it's the only way I can stream. Somebody sent me a webcam a few months back. This would be Cherryberry 48, 68, something with an 8. But yeah, she sent me a webcam a few months back, but it doesn't work with my laptop. She says it's supposed to be plug and play. I have plugged it in, it will not play. Amy Necrotique has suggested it might be that the webcam itself, which she says is a pretty good one, it's only compatible with certain USB ports, but not others. So, but yeah, this is like my only working computer, and just barely right now. I still have some computer junk that the ex of one of my exes left behind, or rather, his ex left it behind at his place, and then he brought it over to my place because I don't know, I guess he's decided that I'm one of those computer guys who just collects computer parts for whatever reasons. And, you know, it's not like it was all completely useless to me. He also dumped off his ex's really nice Texas Instruments calculator that, like, I looked up on eBay to see what that model was going for, and it was going for about, like, $50-$60 on eBay. So I figured, you know, if I can sell it locally on Craigslist or Facebook faster, you know, just by local pickup, I could probably get at least 40 out of it. So I asked 45, figuring, you know, okay, have some room for people to haggle with me if they want to, but I'm going to stand firm at, like, you know, actually I think I asked 55, yeah, so I figured, okay, yeah, like, start with 55, you know, which was, like, right in between what it was going for on eBay, at least with any bids that looked like it might have actually ended up selling. And then what happens was, so I figured I'd stay firm, like no lower than 40 if somebody wants to haggle with me. And this girl that same year, that was 2016, she offered me $50 cash for it, and I said, hey, it's yours if you can make it down here tonight. You know, which was, like I said, like 4 years ago now, so, yeah, she did. She made it over here, like, just that night, and I got $50 4 years ago. Oh, gosh. As long as she wants to be. Her scandals haven't affected her audience, and if anything, it's only made her more well-known. I don't think it'd be completely fair to say that she only got to where she is because she's pretty and did nothing else. But I'm sure she does other things behind the scenes. Has she had to work as hard as others? Who knows? I don't. But Summer's come up has always been kind of lackluster for me, only because she seems like she just popped up at the right time. Not every YouTuber needs some incredible blow up as far as their channel. I'm genuinely interested in seeing if she can do much else with her content, or if anyone really would care. As of now, she seems to be doing just fine, and only time will tell. So, after I'm done slapping the dye on, I plan to finally do another one of those pair of white jeans that I've been wanting to for a while. I'm just gonna throw it in I'm just gonna throw it in my stock pot on here with I think I'm gonna go with teal for the next pair. There is another pair I want to do. There is one of those two pair I want to do in olive, but not tonight's pair. Oh wait. At least I could sell mine. The motherboard broke on mine. Oh, the calculator. $400 to fix, the tech guy said. Bolted. Who has the cash on hand? Not me. Besides, I could put that. Oh, yeah. But hey, those Texas Instruments calculators, I know that as long as they're in, like, good working condition, like, brand new, like, they want as much as, you know, a really nice laptop for one of those things. And I've got a friend who's a professor at the engineering department, and, you know, when I told them about that, about selling it for $50 off of, I think it was Craigslist. Yeah, because she texted me, and I, usually when I put stuff on Craigslist in hopes of getting it out really fast, I put the option to text me. So then what happened? Oh, yeah. So I told a couple of the other grad students, because the game night I usually go to on Thursdays. My friend who teaches discrete maths at the University of Michigan Engineering Department, it's officially hosted by the engineering grad students. Granted, she's a professor now. Yeah, she's a professor now, so, like, it's now, like, officially in the hands of one of the current grad students. But, you know, the grad students who take over frequently, consult her for advice and all of that. So, then what happens is, yeah, I was telling them about that sweet Texas Instruments, because, like, it doesn't even matter if it's a few years old or, like, you know, the previous gen of a certain model. They're just like, no, those are nice, you know, because, like, I guess everybody's got to have them there in that, you know, if you're going for that program. So they're just like, oh, where were you? You know, when I needed one. I'm like, I had it sold for yeah, it's for yeah, that same ex also dumped her, as in his ex was a her. But yeah, he dumped his ex's, old, laptop, which, you know, in addition to a couple of, you know, like, desktop gaming tower kind of computers. But yeah, there was also this, laptop of his ex's that was running Ubuntu, but he had no idea what the password on it was. I was nowhere near in a position to try and guess the password, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna, like, put this up there, like, it technically turns on. You just, like, you just gotta give it, like, it just needed, like, pretty much just, like a clean wipe. Just had to, like, completely reformat it with whatever, OS. You know, just, like, get a new copy of Windows and just give it a hard rewipe to get it working. And I think I got another 50 off of that laptop just because it had really nice specs, aside from the fact that it was, you know, going to be a bit of a project to get. Well, I mean, like I said, as best as I can tell, it was in perfectly good working order. My ex told me that, you know, last he saw his other ex with it, it was in perfectly good working condition, just like, you know. And he'd made several attempts to contact that ex of his to get all of her shit back from his apartment, but, you know, whatever. It happens. Like,
throughout their career, I guess. But they vary their sounds a lot, which I like. I like that a lot. And honestly, the most comparable band that I can think of is actually the Bubble Surfers, which is not a goth band. And maybe sort of an unusual band to compare anyone to because they were so strange. But seriously, you guys, piece, not a song, because it's a song called Slow Fat Jesus on this album. And
okay.
very interesting.
Yeah, this cheapy clip-on ring light is running out of charge.
Also very synthy. They describe themselves as synth rock.
So, okay. Now I just gotta let that soak to get the last of it out. I do want to visit New Orleans at some point. I almost did one time, then hijinks ensue, and I ended up in Virginia instead. I'm still not completely sure what happened that that week, but nah, I know exactly what happened, but I'm keeping it to myself. But
I was kind of thinking of making a goth music channel because I like goth music, and but I didn't want to do something that was whatever.
so
Anyways, and I was starting. It's like I did want to incorporate kind of.
okay, so the deal with the recycling in Ypsilanti is we don't officially have a city recycling drop-off right now. And in spite of a few attempts I've made to get in contact with the guy in charge of the Ann Arbor, so when we lost our city recycling drop-off, we had a deal going on with the city of Ann Arbor to use their recycling drop-off. You know, if you lived in an apartment building like I do, that does not provide curbside recycling single stream service, like is the deal with my apartment. Like, we do not have the single stream recycling bins out in the front of the building. So yeah, like what happens there was you got sent this little card to go and get your recycling in complimentary because, you know, there was no option for Ypsilanti. Otherwise, it would cost like, I can't remember if it's $3 or $5 each time, but it's like, I can't pay that, not even every other week. Like, I'd pretty much be taking in the bottle deposits every week just to go take it to the recycling, you know, right? Or, you know, like, spend it on the recycling when, you know, like, in theory, I need that for the night ride service so I can get home after going out to the, what passes for a goth bar out here. So yeah, like, currently we have, unfortunately, that little, waiver card I have, expired at the end of 2019, and, like I said, I made several attempts to get a hold of this guy, and so I'm going to check the, a couple of the, Ypsilanti area discussion, groups on Facebook to see if anybody's got any news there, because at this point, I really don't, please move, cat on the floor, like, right under where my foot was about to go, so yeah, like, I've got a whole bunch of recycling stacked up behind me, and I really don't want to throw it in the dumpster for this building. I will if I can't get it done, like, if I can't take it anywhere this coming weekend, I have to throw it in the dumpster, because this is taking over my kitchen. I mean, at this point, I'm not gonna, like, because my stock pot that I use to, that I also use to dye my clothes in, it just occurred to me that is under all of this recycling, and I don't want to mess with that right now. Not with henna on my head, as it is. So, lived in New York City, and those 5-cent redeemables. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here in Michigan, it's 10-cent deposit. But yeah, so yeah, I gotta find out this week if I have anywhere to take my recycling to, because, like I said, if I can't find anywhere to take it to this coming Saturday, I have to throw it in the dumpster, because, as it is, like, if I'd had the foresight to get the stock pot out before I started going live, I would have done that. But as it is right now, it's like I can't dye my clothes because of the recycling is on top of it. Like, it's on top of the pot that I use, because that's the only pot that will fit, like, you know, the amount of clothes I need dyeing. Like, you know, like, I'm talking like a full leg pair of jeans, right? So, yes, Murnau? What? Murnau? Poor little noodle. Poor little Fluffin. As you a goofy little Fluffin? Yes, you's a goofy little Fluffin. Aren't you so cute? Now let me hold you like a baby. Nah, he hates it. He hates being held like a baby. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This cat is going to be 3 years old. How? How are you 3? Don't tell me it's because you were born in 2017. Don't tell me that! Is it because you're a goofy little Fluffin? Yes. Yes, you are. I love you. Excuse me. No, you love my burps. Oh, you do. You do. You love it. You love it. Ah, you're so goofy. He's so goofy. He's so goofy. Goofy little noodle. Goofy little wiggly noodle boy. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. I love to bother that cat. Yeah. Yeah, I got a great little, like, 2, maybe 3-minute video clip of, Nigel on my lap earlier. I don't know if I'm gonna upload that as is or tack it onto the end of a, I was gonna do an edited video and, film that while I'm in my bath with henna on my face. In a bit. I should probably feed the cats first. I should probably feed the cats and figure out what I'm having for dinner first. So, yeah, Murnau is definitely named after the, silent film director. F.W. Murnau is probably one of my favorite directors, like, in general, honestly. So, okay.
And what's fun is that Ariel Benny, he actually helped on this album. He's not an official member, but he did help. And there's a lot of cameos by other Costa Rican goth artists. I guess
So,
goths know each
okay.
other. I previously did a video on this channel about Costa Rican goth bands. I guess they all know.
Of course. This gets to be part of my day.
Their album this year, I liked it. It didn't go on this list because Ethereal Goth isn't really my thing. But that was also good. Anyways, this album specifically, it's cool. It has
Oh,
a
hey.
rainy sound to it, but goth rock, like rainy.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Have seen the movie Gaslight. I actually haven't seen that in a... If I have seen it, it's been a long time. I know it was based on a play. I think the film was out late 40s, right? So, just because it's there and it was the last one in the package, dinner tonight is one of these. Beyond a Sausage. Plant-based sausage. One of their original bratwurst style. Soy-free, gluten-free, 16 grams of plant protein per serving.
Finally, last but not least, is often
So, and 38% less saturated fat than pork sausage. Ew. Okay, so that was on the coldest part of the freezer, because it's got, some frozen bits. Yeah, this part should be recyclable. So, and because I be ghetto, I'm sticking the Ziploc in the freezer, and I'm probably gonna stick various vegetable bits in it to make a vegetable stock, vegetable broth, whatever. Depends on how much seasoning I give to it. Okay, now I gotta collect all the cat's dinner plates and make them their dinner. Scorch! All of you, scorch!
That was my list. I hope you liked it. And down below, I'm going to leave links so that you can listen to all these bands because
Okay, so there are things like out in the middle of my front room right now that should not be out in the middle of my front room. They were not near the middle of my front room when I went to bed last night, but they're in the middle of my front room now.
I try to share different songs.
As should go without saying, I blame the cats for this. Ah. Close. Early 40s. All right. And where did it go? Okay. So, okay, there's the lid. Okay, cats. This is like not for your benefit, for the, you know, or anybody else who might be watching the stream. I like ask the cats 27 times a day if they've seen anything that went missing on me. Oh, no, that's the... Okay. Cats, if I can't find the blade for the blender, I can't make your dinner. Okay, I've got the paddle for the ice cream churn. It did not fall in with the potatoes. Oh, there it is. It ended up behind a couple things. Okay. Can see. Yeah, that is not my problem. Well, that's YouTube. Blame YouTube for this because YouTube has decided that even though I have 1,000 subscribers and 0 streaming restrictions, that I cannot stream from my phone because I do not have 1,000 subscribers. Or this is the thing it keeps telling me every time I try. And for some reason, every streaming app, every third-party streaming app I've tried, it does not recognize that my phone has a front-facing flash on the camera, so therefore it does not turn on the front-facing camera light. And because it doesn't turn on the front-facing camera light, I'm here, like, trying to rig up all sorts of stuff and nonsense with, like... Okay, that is bright again. Will this help? No. Like, seriously, like, this is, yeah, like, this is what I'm left doing. I can't do it. I have no light. This is not my problem. This is... YouTube has decided that I don't have enough people, you know, so I can stream from my phone. And because I do not have a webcam that is compatible with my laptop, and my laptop is old enough that it doesn't have a native built-in webcam, okay? So, yeah, I know that there's, like, no light in here. Actually, there's, like, plenty of light in here. It's just the third-party app I have to use won't give me any, okay? Anyone who talks to their cats is a good human. People look at me like I'm a nut. Oh, I have to talk to my cats. Do prepare no, I don't prepare their food organically. Well, I have to buy it grain-free, or else Phoebe farts all day. But I do mix it, in a blender, because Nigel likes it the consistency of soup. And I wish I knew why, but basically, like, I mix it, that's, like, about 2 parts cat food, 1 part water. That's how Nigel likes it. That's the only way Nigel will eat it. Polite exchange of bullets. That is a cute handle. But yeah, so like I said, I do buy commercial cat food. I have to buy it grain-free, or Phoebe will fart all day. It's lovely. I mean, on the good side, it's a relatively mild grain intolerance she's got. Like, I've heard of cats who will, like, shit blood with, like, the slightest bit of corn in their diet. Which, like, I'm very glad that is not the case with Phoebe, so that's nice. On the other hand, it means I pay extra for cat food. If it were in my budget, I probably would make... I probably would make, you know, their cat food out of, you know, fresh meat. But yeah, that's not in my budget. So I do the next best thing, and I get them the, right now, I'm actually, like, really glad that they love, Petco's, in-house brand, called Wholehearted. So, and it is grain-free, their, yeah, the Petco in-house brand. That's grain-free, which is nice, and it is the cheapest grain-free cat food I've seen available anywhere. And they like it. It's not their favorite. They can definitely tell it's not their favorite. In fact, the first couple times I got it, Phoebe gives me the stink eye because, oh, she loves her favorite. She'll eat whatever's not her favorite, because she's a little chubbin. She's a chubby little muffin. Phoebe. Come here, Miss Phoebe. Here. Phoebe. Oh. I think she's still a little traumatized by the, hold on. Yeah, Murnau likes croissants. I discovered that today. I got some day-old croissants from Kroger last night. you know, just like little mini croissants. So like they're about half size of they're about half the size of the regular croissants. And Murnau was just like all up my ass when I was having a few on the couch earlier today. So I tore off a little piece, and I'm like, okay, like there's nothing in it that would hurt him. It's just got some butter in it, so that's probably what he's attracted. He loves croissants. I had a cat who loved Twinkies. And the funny thing about that is I can't stand Twinkies. I only had a Twinkie once ever in my life, and it was to win a bet. I found Twinkies absolutely disgusting, and like it was the worst part of the Twinkie Wiener sandwich. I don't know if anybody else here has seen the Weird Al movie. It's called UHF. It is set in the time before cable TV was especially widespread, so a lot of times if the city was large enough to, you know, or somebody in the area had enough money to pay for the license, like they would have a local UHF station that would have a whole lot of like weird little local programming. A lot of times they would just like run a bunch of reruns, which, you know, was what was happening at the TV station on the movie, right? But yeah, these little local stations were on a UHF frequency as opposed to the VHF frequency, which you know, which gave much stronger signals, and those would usually have the network affiliate stations. So like when the Fox network was like the regular like basic network Fox. So when that was a brand new station, when that was a brand new network, that was on channel 36 in Toledo for the longest time. And actually, like, channel 36 was a local UHF for the longest time until the Fox network, you know, was coming up and, you know, just, like, bought a bunch of local UHF stations that, you know, were just kind of struggling to stay around. So yeah, like, so yeah, you'll see a lot of, like, you know, like, fledgling new networks on UHF stations, at least in the 80s and 90s. Like, UPN was on channel 60... yeah, channel 60 or 61 in Detroit was UPN. But yeah, like I said, Fox was channel 36 in Toledo. So yeah, like the higher up the number goes, like the weaker the frequency. So yeah, on the Weird Al movie, which is called UHF, like their channel was channel 62, which is like the highest possible number. Or at least in 1987, it was the highest possible number that, you know, most televisions at the time would go to for a UHF station. So this was, so this was like, you know, like this tiny little station. They never said exactly what town the film was set in, but it was filmed mostly in the area of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we're assuming it's set in the general vicinity of Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, this tiny little station operating out of, you know, just this little building not much bigger than my apartment, and I have a 550 square foot apartment. Okay? So, you know, just like way out on the outskirts of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, oh god, I was going somewhere. Oh right, Twinkie. So, I mentioned the Twinkie Wiener Sandwich, and I mentioned the Twinkie Wiener Sandwich because this is a feature of the film that many people remember, even though it was just like a complete throwaway joke. You know, so Weird Al's character is... I forget his character's name. Oh, George! His character's name was George. I think it was George. I don't know. Weird Al. So, like, he's there, and his roommate, yeah, George Newman. Okay, so yeah, his character George Newman, George and his roommate are living over this store, and their apartment is right next door to a karate studio. This has no bearing whatsoever on the plot or what I'm about to say, but it does create some interesting visuals in the scene with the Twinkie Wiener sandwich. Like, for no reason. But, so yeah, like, George and... I forget roommate's name. I remember the actor is David Bowe. And I remember watching the DVD with commentary before one of my exes or old roommates took off with my DVD of it. I swear there are a number of people on my list of people to rough up at some point before I die, ideally. On the good side, they had good taste because they also took off with my copy of Hedwig and the Angry Inch and the 25th anniversary edition of Rocky Horror Picture Show on DVD. But that's another story for another time. So George's roommate get fired from another job, and, you know, they go back to the apartment, and they're moping. So George makes, you know, his roommate's favorite dish, the Twinkie Wiener sandwich. So we are first introduced to the Twinkie Wiener sandwich by, you know, the preparation of the Twinkie Wiener sandwich. You take a Twinkie, you score it, like, lengthwise, so that the Twinkie acts as the hot dog bun, and then you push a hot dog into the score line of the Twinkie, and then you put spray cheese on top. Weird Al said in the commentary track that he ate 11 Twinkie Wiener sandwiches during the filming of UHF, and shortly after that, he became a vegetarian, and he's not sure the two are at all connected. You know, with the extra sarcasm to his voice to imply that maybe they are connected, but no, his story about how he became a vegetarian was, like, one time a fan just, like, gave him, this book, about that outlined some of the environmental benefits to vegetarianism, in addition to some of the ethics. So, like, it's something that unnatural vegan, like something she would write now, like, not when she was, raw for, whatever, but, something she would write now. And Weird Al said, yeah, and there wasn't anything in the book that I could argue against, so he became vegetarian after that. And, like, I have told people that I would probably at least be full-time vegetarian if it wasn't for the fact that A, I have a soy allergy, and B, I have a very tight budget. In fact, I have a letter from DHS saying that my food stamp budget has been cut by another $5. I am now getting $98 a month in food stamp benefits starting next week. So starting this coming Sunday, $98 a month. Hooray for me, right? So yeah, like under $100 a month. I'm supposed to eat on this. Less than $25 a week. I'm supposed to eat on this, right? But so yeah, like I had a bet with my best ex, because he was very proud of the fact that he'd never seen a John Hughes movie, and I was very proud of the fact that I had never before in my life eaten a Twinkie. So he said, he agreed that he would watch Breakfast Club because he's heard not just from me, as it is still today one of my favorite films, and I was like 21 when I was dating Scott. I was 21 when I was living with Scott. Shit, I was 19 when he and I started dating. Son of a bitch. God damn. But yeah, so I made a bet, like I said, Breakfast Club is still today one of my favorite movies, and so he had heard not just from me, but from a lot of other people that Breakfast Club is, like, if you see no other John Hughes movie, see Breakfast Club. And, that's one of those movies that is just so perfect in so many ways. Like, if they had changed anything about that film, it probably would have ruined it. And yeah, I know that there are people who like to, like, dissect various little, problematic aspects, but at the same time, like, teenagers are kind of problematic. Like, that's their thing. So it's like, do you want something that is relatable in how accurate it still is as a film? Like, going on 40 years later. Like, that movie is like 35 years old this year, right? 36 years old. 35 or 36 this year, okay? So, going on 40 years later, that film is still so beautifully accurate for, you know, like, just what being a high school kid is like. Like, people, like, you know, and to an extent, like, that still extends into adult life. Like, people expect you to fill this certain role, and, you know, and this is just what you're expected to be. This is just what you're expected to be, and, you know, real life is not like that. Real life is, you have all of these facets that, you know, can easily fit any of these other little, you know, things. But yeah, so my best ex and I, he said that he would watch Breakfast Club if, no, I don't know. No. We watched Breakfast Club later that weekend. It was 16 Candles, and it was 16 Candles because he, you know, my best ex has loved Getty Watanabe and everything else he's seen Getty Watanabe in. And Getty Watanabe plays the karate instructor next door to Weird Al and roommate, you know, Weird Al and David Bowie's apartment in UHF. So yeah, like Scott said, okay, I'll watch 16 Candles, because, like, I and other people have described 16 Candles as, like, think Porky's but for girls. That's not an inaccurate description of 16 Candles. And yes, I know, like, that's problematic, and in me I have a rant about how that infamous scene with, I'm only remembering the character's name, Caroline and Jake and Anthony Michael Hall's character, who is unnamed. He's simply referred to as the geek in the credits. That's not actually a rape scene. And, you know, like, Jake is saying that, you know, like, in the preface to that scene, Jake is saying, you know, he could be like this, but he's not. He doesn't want to be that kind of guy. Fair. And then he sends, you know, the geek to take her home, and, okay, yeah, you know, geek gets out, you know, a couple of his friends to take some sleazy pictures, but the pictures just don't happen in the way that they wanted it to, so, you know, there's, you know, like, kind of a lesson there about, like, you know, or at least that's kind of like an implication that, yeah, he tried to be sleazy, but karma came around and bit him in the ass for trying to. But if you think about, like, everything else that is going on in that, you know, car in, like, the very next scene after the, you know, failed photos, is, like, you know, he's underage. Like, he is underage to the point that he doesn't even have a learner's permit to drive that car. She is implicitly 18. Both of them have been drinking, okay? Both of them have been drinking. So, like, legally, this is in a really weird area where I don't think any jury would say anything beyond, like, teenagers being stupid happened in that car. Like, people want to read way more into that, but, you know, like I said, that is, like, one of these days I'm gonna, like, dedicate, like, a good 10-minute long video to that, and I'm sure people are gonna argue with me about it, but, you know, like I said, it's in this really weird area, and, yeah, but again, like I said, like, if you want to sum up the plot of 16 Candles, think Porky's but for girls, okay? So, but yeah, like, I got Scott to agree to watch 16 Candles if I would eat a Twinkie Wiener sandwich. And I did eat a Twinkie Wiener sandwich, now that I've gotten sidetracked 17 times, and the cats are all staring me down for their dinner. And yeah, like, the worst part of the Twinkie Wiener sandwich was the Twinkie. Like, I will never eat another one again. I feel really bad about, like, I mean, my cat at the time, her name was Vermin, she was up my ass, like, begging for whatever I had, right? And so, like, I like, dip my finger in the spray cheese, and yeah, she licks off the spray cheese, and but like just a little bit of lick. She's not entirely interested, but Vermin was very food motivated as far as for a cat especially. She was food motivated in the way that dogs are typically food motivated. So like I offered her a bit of hot dog. She I knew she liked hot dogs, but that's not what she wanted. She wanted the Twinkie. And I did not understand this. And Scott and I, like, kind of fed her, like, like a third of a Twinkie at a time, like, every few days, like, just to finish off the box after Scott, after Scott decided he only wanted a few of them that was left from the box. Because you couldn't buy, like, just a single Twinkie in Rochester Hills, Michigan that year. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna go, have my own dinner, give the cats their dinner, then, like, put my vegetarian sausage on a bun with some mustard, and then go sit in the tub and, film a video where I talk about something that is not, Porky's for girls or whatever, but, yeah, let me see, notice I feed her canned food. Her poops are toxic. Your cat used to love olives. Yeah, lots of cats like weird things. I'm getting a cat as I love them. Oh, yay! My neighbor's going to breed her tomcat and give me the first pick of the litter. Not a fan of any of those manufactured sweets. They're such an obvious lie. I would feel like a shill of the system if I ate one. Oh god, yeah, oh god, my best ex Scott, his cat Bob, the same year I had Vermin. Actually Bob lived to be 20 years old. And Bob's vet gave him a prognosis when he was 15 years old, when the cat was 15 years old, obviously, that he had intestinal cancer, he had a brain tumor that was giving him seizures, and he might have had 6, maybe 12 months if the chemo keeps his, because it was like a steroid chemo, sort of, regimen. If the medication keeps his appetite up, he might have a good 12 months left. That cat lived another 5 years. Like, nobody was telling that cat what to do. We didn't even tell that cat what to do. He just agreed with us about half the time. But okay, I'm gonna end the stream now. So, as I do, bats and kisses, wear your sunscreen, all that happy horse shit. And hopefully, I don't know, one of these days, YouTube is gonna pull their thumb out of their ass and recognize that I have plenty enough screamy stuff to stream from. Alright, take care. Bye-bye!